Going to open up and take a look at a new board game here called Tokaido. It's published by Fun Forge. I believe they're a French company. You can see it's just a basic simple board where you leapfrog over each other. And to read the tagline on the box, we have, "Welcome traveler, welcome to the Tokaido, the legendary East Road connecting Kyoto to Edo. Here you will begin an extraordinary journey during which you will discover 1,000 marvels for the first time. Be sure to take the time to contemplate the sumptuous vistas before you, the majestic mountains, peaceful coastland, and vast rice paddies. Let the brushstrokes of nature be an anchor for your memories. Appreciate the beneficial stopovers that punctuate your path, the restorative tranquility of the hot springs, and the countless culinary delicacies that will astonish your palate. Bundle together with your belongings delightfully unexpected souvenirs, from the modest to the most sophisticated, that you gather from surprising encounters that may change the course of your travels. Time will be your best means to remain clear-sighted, methodical, and patient, so that you don't miss anything on this unique route, but instead can fully savor the experience that Tokaido has to offer." So this is the premises of the game is, like it says, you're traveling the road from Kyoto to Edo, and you're looking to collect souvenirs and different scenes of nature that are made up from different cards. Each of the different spaces you hit along the way lets you get a souvenir, have an encounter, or lets you have a meal, or you can collect a piece of a vista that when you complete it, it gives you points. All these things give you points that go along the score tracker to the top. Open it up and look at some of the contents. Fairly simple game, there's still some strategy to it, but nothing really complex about it. More the strategy, I guess, would come in with you trying to get what you need by the spaces, but maybe every once in a while you're looking to block somebody else out. So we have the rule book. You can see it's a full color, glossy stock. It's a fairly thick paper. It goes through, you have the object of the game, how to set it up, how the gameplay works, how the village, description of the spaces. So you have a village space, a farm, a panorama space. That's where you collect these little scenics made up of 3, 4, and 5 different cards. You have a hot spring, a temple, an encounter space. You have inns where everybody has to stop at the end, so it kind of resets the flow of the game. And then you have the end of the scoring. You have a description of some of the different cards here. Each person will play a different character, and that character will have some sort of unique trait or ability to them. Looks like we have maybe some variations on the game to change it up. And then it looks like you have a little kind of informative section about some of the some of the different spaces relate to the actual Japanese culture, I believe. So that is, and then we have the board. This is a fairly long board. Have some punch outs here, but we'll take a look at the board first. So it's a 3-panel board. You can see you have a score track at the top. It goes from 1 to 100. You have the temple space here. And then you have the different color of the players. And you get points by donating coins to the temple when you land on a temple space. And it I believe maybe at the end of the game, the person that donates the most to the temple may get some bonus points. So you can see you start out at an end, and you have these different spaces that you can stop out, and then everybody has to stop at the end again. And more encounter spaces that you can go to, and you stop at the end 4 times in total, and the last one will be the final space. You have some spaces here for the Panorama cards, for the 3 card scenic, the 4 card scenic, and the 5 card scenic. You have your village cards, your hot spring cards, your encounter cards, and your end cards. So that is the Tokaido game board. It's an average board. It's a little thin, but it's still sturdy. Take a look at the box before. So we have some punch outs here. I'll look at those in a minute. You can see the box is set up to take the different tokens. There's really not anything else in the box, so it's a fairly big box for what you get in it. You have the player tokens, and these are wooden meeples, 5 different colors. And then you have a little pill-sized round token that you put on the score tracker to keep track of your character. We have some cards here. I'll take a look at those in just a second. We have some different punch outs here. You have your characters, and you can see the character has a little punch out here also. That's so you can put the color player marker to match the token, because you won't be playing the same character every time, and it won't be sorry, I dropped a pair of the cards. So you won't be playing the same character every time, so the color token that goes with the character may change. So you get we'll take a look at each one of these a little closer. That's too far on the zoom. So you can see this one has a special ability when he visits the town, I believe that is. He gets tokens. You can see we have a lady here. Another guy. You can see they all have different abilities. The bottoms, when they hit a certain space, they get, I'm not sure what the symbols here mean. So that's 4 characters on that sheet, and then we have 6 characters on this sheet. So he's kind of wearing some kind of hood. He's walking along. It's a very, very nice stylized artwork in this. And then these are all your money tokens. The circle with a squared out hole in the middle of it. We'll take a look at some of the cards now. We have, I believe these are all going to be Panorama cards. So as you hit the Panorama space, there's 3 different kinds. You have a blue Panorama space, a green Panorama space, and then a white Panorama space. So the first one you have is the green. So when you get your first Panorama card, either through some sort of encounter or by landing on the space, you'll collect the 1 and get 1 point. When you get to the next one, you'll get 2 and get 2 points. And when you get the last one, this particular Panorama only has 3, you'll get 3 points for the card. And then if you're the first one to complete this particular scene, you'll also get some bonus points. I don't remember what that is. I have seen this played on another YouTube channel, Watch It Played, which is a good channel to go and see how different games play. The gentleman there does a really nice job. He usually plays with his son and daughter. You have the white Panorama. I'm just going to show you what it looks like completed. So you can see you're basically collecting these scenes as you walk along the road, kind of like a souvenir. And then you have the last one, and this has 5 cards in total, so it would be the most difficult one to get, because you have to try to do other stuff as you encounter. You'll need money to buy souvenirs and to buy meals at the end to get points there. This is more of a water scene. So stopping at every panorama may not be, or someone else may block you by putting their character there, and you won't have the opportunity to get it. And we'll look through these last sets of cards here. We have some I don't know what these cards are. Little kitty looking cards. These are the cards you get for completing the panoramic first. You get 3 points for completing any one of the panoramics before somebody else does. These must be bonus cards for some sort of bonus card associated with the hot springs, with the inn, with the town, and with the encounters. So you have the hot springs cards, and these are basically just points. You stop at the hot springs to relax, and you have 2-point and 3-point cards, so it's just you stop and recuperate and you get points for doing that. You have the end cards, we'll look at those in a minute. You have the encounter cards, which just means along the road you have some sort of encounter. So you run into these different people and they let you get a card from a different deck. This one lets you get a town, this one lets you get a free panoramic from the blue, a free panoramic from the white, a free panoramic from the green. You have some that just give you points, some that give you money, and it looks like some that let you donate money to the temple. You have the town spaces, or the village spaces, and these I believe are all going to be souvenir cards. So you can see you have a point cost associated with it, and then a different kind of symbol. So let's see, you can see this has a shirt symbol, so it's a clothing, and this has some sort of maybe souvenir. What that is? It looks like a little tree or a fan. But say if you got this one first, you would get 1 point for it, and the next one souvenir that you get that doesn't match a symbol you already have, you would get 3 points. So then if you have those two, if you get a third symbol that didn't match either one of those, you would get 5, and for the last unique symbol in that set, you would get 7. So you can see you have some different, you have food, clothing, different unique items. So depending on how many of these and how many different types, you'll get different points associated with those. And then you have the inn cards, and now these are all pretty much going to be meals when you stop at the inn, but you do have to pay for them, and they're all worth 6 points, I believe. So when you get to the inn, you're going to want to have coins to pay for those meals. And these are just they have different pictures on them, but they all amount to the same thing. It's just kind of a graphic design choice there. But you have a bunch of ones that cost 1 coin, and then it looks like a bunch here that cost 2 coins, and then maybe 5 that cost 3 coins. So the first person that gets to the end, they'll pull out however many cards that there are players plus 1. So if there's 3 players, they'll pull out 4 cards, and they'll get to pick. And then the next person to the end will get to pick the next, and then the last person to the end will only have 2 cards to pick from. So if somebody else took the cheaper meals, that person may only be left with a more expensive meal. So, and the person that has the best journey via they've accumulated the most points on the board will win Tokaido. But that is everything that comes in the Tokaido board game.